Hey there, Postal here. So we are continuing our American week on World of Warplanes with another American aircraft. Today we're Tier 8, the multi-role plane, the F2G Super Corsair. Let's take a look. Alright, now why did I keep this particular plane? I absolutely love it. I haven't played it in quite a long time. I've heard, with the meta change that happened after 2.05 where you could start specializing planes, that this kind of plane and some of the other multi-roles kind of started falling to the wayside. And I haven't played it in a while because I've been grinding so many different things, but I wanted to play it today. I think this is a quintessential American plane. You've got that Corsair, the gull-wing design, fine Navy vehicles. Now, this F2G, in reality, wasn't a successful airplane. It was built to be the next line of the Corsairs made by Goodyear, but in reality, this plane actually wasn't all that good. But luckily, we're not worried about all that good in reality. We're playing a video game. So what makes this plane good, or made it good previously in-game? Well, a lot of it has to do with this ground armament. You have the a huge bomb. This particular bomb was, for the longest time, the largest bomb in the game, believe it or not. 9,000 damage with that one bomb. You've got 8 rockets on this particular plane, and then you've got 4 20mm cannons. So all in all, a very strong plane when put together. And it's well balanced. It's one of the few planes in the game that I feel like I can flip a sector without any assistance. I can dogfight what I need to dogfight. It's got very good maneuverability, especially for a multi-role. Has a lot of ground armament, like we just talked about. And because of that, I feel like basically anything besides maybe a mining facility, I can take over on my own without any additional assistance. It defends well, it attacks well, kind of does everything you want a multi-role to do. And unfortunately, like all the multi-roles in the game, it's pretty low altitude performance, but it does get a decent amount of airspeed, and you can get up higher when you need to. Kind of max out at about 8,500 feet. It becomes kind of unviable at that point. The reason I went down this line initially was because it's a Corsair. It's got that great kind of look to it, but it's also got a lot of history to it, U.S. Navy, World War II kind of thing. At the time, I was really kind of worried about it, because at the time, from the F2G, you went to the F6U and the F94D. It's about 350 or 360,000 experience. I was like, man, this plane better be at least reasonably good, because it's going to take forever. And in my opinion, it's very, very good. It has the same guns that you would have on the F4U before it, but they don't seem to overheat as much, and that makes a huge difference when you're trying to put out that kind of damage. You're only doing 460 damage a second, but the cannons really do hit hard, and you're able to kind of keep it going where you were overheating a little bit more on the F4U4 previously. I've set it up for kind of a mix. Being in a multi-role, I figured go a little bit with the maneuverability, go a little bit with the speed. I've of course got the engine cooling here, and universal ammo is definitely helpful. It does tend to catch planes on fire pretty often, and universal ammo definitely helps that. Of course, I've got the gyroscopic sight. I want to make sure I'm hitting those particular shots. Typically I have a gyroscopic sight on everything besides ground pounders and bombers. So that's kind of a general gist of this particular plane. I mean, it just looks cool, and it literally can do anything you want it to do, anything a multi-role can do. It's not going to be like some of the multi-roles that are in the game, like, for instance, the J7W1. It's really more of a light fighter that's got a couple of small bombs on it. Or the Batwing, more of the same, right? It's more of a light fighter with some air-to-air rockets. It's not really multi-roles in a true multi-role sense. The true multi-roles that we have in game are going to be things like the Tempest, which Tempest is good, but you don't have that same bomb. You've got a little bit more maneuverability, similar maneuverability, we'll say, and but you're missing that large bomb. So I tend to prefer to get the F2G if I'm going to take a tier 8 multi-roll out. I just got the SU-9. Yep, that's all I got to say about this particular plane. It's all about its gun, and if the gun's not working, then the plane's not working. So yeah, we'll disregard that plane because it's no good. It's going to be a long grind on that particular plane. This plane, you can do everything you wanted a multi-roll to do, and you look good doing it. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop into our battle today and see what we can pull out.
Get ready for battle. Good luck.
All right. So we can see that big old bomb on the bottom there. 9,000 damage. See if I can put it to use. So I got a decent tier 8 battle here, so we don't need to worry with any of the crazy jets. But this plane, you know, as long as you've got your head on a swivel, can actually do okay in those kind of scenarios. But anyway, we're top dogs, so let's utilize that. I want to drop this bomb on the center of the comm center if I can. It looks like I'm going to be a little bit off. That's okay. It's got a pretty darn big blast radius. We'll drop a couple rockets here. Get that knocked down. Let's get into some dogfighting. And so very often I'll kind of toggle between boosting and air braking, so that way I can, when I'm going around my corners, I can turn pretty quickly. We're able to get behind these zeros. And obviously I missed the bomb a little bit too much. We'll drop all 4 of these here. Get that taken care of. Now we just need to, yep, done. So one thing that I didn't mention in the garage is the engine on this particular plane. Like 77 horsepower, 7,700 horsepower. And that's significant. You can really put that, you know, pedal to the metal and go, go, go. Oh, what is it with me and going against FW190Ds? I luckily put enough of a hurt on him to where he turned away, but man, I need to do a review on that thing. I haven't flown it in a while, but obviously it's a beast. Luckily I was at full health, but what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of looking at planes that are coming around, coming towards me, going away from me, and see what I can get behind, considering I had no engine power. Good, we flipped it. Let's go ahead and take a look at what else is going on here. I got this heavy up here, so we want to try to see if we can get him. Nope, and then I noticed, taking a look at the map, that we've got a multi-roll coming in. Let's see if we can get him knocked out. So we're going against this Tempest. Let's see what we can do against him. Something's hitting me. Look at the map, I see there's a light fighter. I can't outmaneuver a light fighter no matter what it is. And so I just want to try to get this guy knocked out, since I figure I'm dead anyway, and I am definitely dead. What got me? Ooh, P-51H. Not an insignificant plane, especially at tier 8. We'll have to be mindful of him. Alright, so we're going to hop back into the middle here. We're up 3 sectors to 1. I wanted to get that center because, of course, our bombers were going for that and not for their comm center. Their bombers were coming for our comm center. Kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. So now we've got the center. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's see what we can do to take advantage. So you see we've got a multi-roll here. Let's see what we can do to get him knocked out. We've got more maneuverability than him, more maneuverability than most of the multi-rolls that are out there. The only thing you really need to worry is like a J7 or the Batwings, but again, those aren't really, I don't really consider them multi-rolls. Wanted to get rid of this yak before he turned down on me, but he wasn't paying attention for some reason. He didn't mind that he lost 90% of his hit points and just kept going straight. So who am I to argue? So here we are using that big ol' engine of ours. Boosting up. Even with all that horsepower, we're losing a little bit of our airspeed as we get up higher here. probably shouldn't have kept going after this heavy fighter, but it kind of is what it is at this point. I did not want to lose our comm center, that's for sure. And I was hoping that he was going to be, starting to come back down a little bit. And he finally did. Get him. Come on, get him. Eventually get him. Kind of the extreme range of our guns, and he's still moving away from us, so I felt like I wasn't going to be able to get him. Or at least not in a timely manner. And although we're up 3 sectors to 1, all 3 of our sectors have points taken off of it. So I wanted to kind of get these bombers since they're coming my way anyway. See if we can get them knocked out, at least a couple of them, and that'll help us hold on to our comm center. I could see us, suddenly being down 0 to 4 very quickly. So we got rid of this bomber here. Now, I wanted to start hitting this guy here, but I also see that there's another plane coming in. So let's get on him, so that way we don't have to worry about anything coming to get us while we're going after these bombers. Something starts hitting me. I wasn't paying attention to the map, and I really should have been, because here comes one of those fighters disguised as a multi-role Batwing coming in on me. So unfortunately, I'm afraid we're going to be losing that comm center down south. So I'm thinking, okay, if we're going to lose that, let's help hopefully get the other comm center. We're now down 1 sector to 3. And I'm kind of not sure what to do here. I think we're going to get their comm center no matter what, and we just did. So let's get down here, see what we can do. Looks like we're going to lose this comm center, and we just did. All those bombs. But by the time I get there, and I can do some damage to the air targets, and that'll allow me to use my ground armament to actually flip this sector. The 190's not paying attention, which is a good thing. He's going away from me, which is a good thing. Let's see what we can do against this bomber. B-32, which can be a pain in the butt, especially if it's human. Not necessarily from below. Even as humans, they tend to not come after you too bad when you're not angled. So at this point, I was wasting my energy. I figured I'd come back here and do what we could against the comm center, considering our comm center is going for a garrison. Thought I was dropping that pretty on target. We're going to see here that it didn't land where I thought it was going to be landing. But between that bomb and my rockets, I'm hoping to be able to kill a couple air targets and get this sector flipped relatively quickly. Unfortunately, knocked out his engine, so he wasn't keeping his momentum, and I wasn't able to hit him as hard as I wanted to. I was hoping to get that airplane knocked out, but now we're going for the anti-aircraft. I realized, wait a minute, looks like no damage was done at all there. Just kind of mind-blowing, but it is what it is. So drop those rockets, go for the most maneuverable plane, which in this instance is going to be this Tempest. Get him knocked out, flip over and around, see what we can do versus this air target. Should be able to get this guy knocked out pretty okay. Yeah, P-47s are not very maneuverable at all. There we go, we finally flipped it. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. We're now up 3 to 1, and that really just kind of set the tone of the game. That made it from tenuous at best. It really set us up for the win, so I'm glad we were able to get that. Even now that they got their comm center back, it doesn't matter. We've built up such a lead. So let's go ahead and just be a pain in the butt to their garrison and see what we can do here. Right now it's just kind of like, well, get some extra personal points before the game finishes up. You can see what these guns do. They really do hit hard. They remind me quite a bit of Hispanos, and if you're familiar with any of the British planes, you know how hard those guns can hit. Nice. do a little fly through of our bombers, and that's game.
Great job today. We'll be waiting for you back home.
Alright, let's head back. Okay, so we were able to snag a win out of that particular battle. 14,000 personal points, 12 frags, decent amount of damage to ground targets, and you're going to do that with that big bomb. And so, I mean, this wasn't the world's best game in an F2G by any means. I haven't flown in this plane in months, but I kept it because I knew it is an excellent plane. And I think even in this meta, even with all the higher altitude planes hitting the tech trees, I still believe this is a viable plane. And the reason being is because it can still flip its own sectors. And you saw what I was able to do when I actually used my ground armament to pretty good advantage there. That bomb makes a big difference. Being able to use the bomb and the rockets all together is definitely a good thing. I've only got a 3-point pilot on here, so I don't even have the pilot I used to have on it. But this is still an awesome plane. Yeah, and I mean, it's a Corsair. It's a classic plane, right? So it's something that I got just because I like the way it looked. Started going down this line based on the way it looked and the history of it. And they're really good in-game planes. And I still think that they're viable. I've heard a lot of people say now that you can specialize planes that after 2.05, the Corsairs kind of lost their luster. But I really am not sure that's true. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Do you guys still enjoy your Corsairs? Are they still viable planes in your opinion? Have you gone down this line yet? If not, why not? Go down it. It's an awesome line. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.